guest. He is the head coach of
we
the
do
2-0
say so ourselves.
Los Angeles Rams. Sean McVay is on the line. Hey, Sean, what's going on, man?
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're excellent, Sean. And first of all, we want to check on your health. How's your foot?
Outstanding. You know, I think there's a lot of misunderstandings out there. When you tear it, it's temporary pain, but that's actually better. So I feel way better than I did before. My heel was irritating me for the last few weeks. I went to just explode down the sidelines for a timeout. I tore the plantar fascia. Temporary pain for the ultimate gain. I feel great. I'm back.
So are you wearing a cast, a splint, anything like that?
No, you don't wear a cast. No, I'm good. Like, actually, it's when you tear it, it's a positive thing. So it's sore initially, but it's been sore. So no surgery, nothing like that. You know, but you don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. But I am totally good. I'll be jogging around, feeling good, back to normal. It's a blessing that I tore it.
Oh, good for you. Okay, Sean, let's talk about
talk about putting a positive
that was
spin
excellent.
on things. Yeah.
Hey, Sean, let's talk about what happened in Nashville. You guys were down at the half, and then in the second half, you guys picked it up and kind of had your way with them. What changed after halftime?
I thought we executed. You know, I thought, an uncharacteristic turnover. What I like is that we've had some adversity through the first two games. And then what I really liked was we could see what it can look like when we put all three phases together. We're playing complementary football. We're sustaining drives offensively. We're getting off the grass on third down defensively. We're forcing some turnovers. I thought the sack fumble by Byron Young that led to points that allowed us to go up 11 was really the turning point in the game after we had hit Devontae Adams. But I thought, it was just overall execution. Guys were able to get into a rhythm. Obviously, Matthew was really good. I thought we swarmed defensively. So that's what it looks like. But the NFL's hard. I mean, not every game goes the way that you want. It is how you finish. I think we finished well each of the last couple weeks, but we're going to have to put together 4 quarters if we want to go compete against a great team like we got this week.
Let me ask specifically about what goes on in the red zone. Stalled out a couple of times in the red zone, settled for field goals. You called passes during that stretch. Tell me about the sort of the mindset when you're in the red zone.
Would you not like my play calls there?
Look, who am I? I'm just a guy watching the game who's a season ticket holder.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Hey, I would agree. They could be better sequenced there. We were hunting up some looks, didn't execute. I certainly will never run away from. I'm always going to have things that I can improve on in terms of my decision-making. Those two particular sequences in general, probably could have maybe got some runs off, got a little bit greedy right there. And then there might be some instances where you'd maybe even think about going for it on fourth down. But because of the way the third downs went, felt like the points were more important than to potentially not have good momentum. But I need to be better in those sequences. And then, I think there's some opportunities for us to execute better. But ultimately, I could have done a better job of sequencing those series without a doubt. I'm just kidding with you. I would agree they were poor by me.
Wow.
I doubt that.
You get everything right,
I mean that. I genuinely do mean that. Like, those are two areas, if I'm just doing an after-action review, hey, I got to be better for our group when we get in the tight red area. There'll be some times where you feel like, oh, man, maybe those we could have executed, but I certainly do feel like I could have done a better job of putting our guys in a better spot for successful outcomes, and I'll never run away from that.
Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams, is joining us. And, Sean, I'm sure you know this, but over your last 11 games, you are 9-0 against the rest of the NFL and 0-2 against the Eagles, who obviously are the Super Bowl champions and really good. When you sit down to drop a game plan against Philly, what's the biggest challenge?
Yeah, the challenge is they're great. They're a very well-rounded team. They play the game on their terms. They have great personnel, great coaches. They can run it. They have explosive playmakers offensively. Jalen can beat you with his arm or his legs. They're excellent on the offensive line where they can sustain possession. Great protection, great ability to be able to create run lanes and vertical seams for, as dynamic of a player as there is in this league defensively. I have so much respect for Vic Fangio and the way that he has brought that defense along. They've got special players on all 3 levels of the defense, guys that are continuing to ascend. And then, Coach Clay does a great job with their kicking game. And, Nick's been a guy that all he's done is win. And, and I have a lot of respect for it. So it's because they're really, really good players. They're well coached. They play together as a team. And, that's why they've started the season 2-0.
So Philly's got this tush-push thing. You're a football genius. I'm sure you've figured out exactly how to stop it. Let me ask you.
I have not.
What do you think?
Figured that out.
What do you think of the tush push?
I think they do an unbelievable job of executing it, and if we executed it like them, we'd run the shit out of it too.
Sean, do you think the NFL should get rid of it?
You know what? I've talked a lot about this. I think that it's a legal play right now. I think they do a great job in the situations that it comes up of successfully executing. And if those do come up, we've got to do a great job of trying to be able to prevent them from executing. But, other than that, the reality is we'll probably have to defend it. Hopefully we limit their ability to get into some of those short yardage or tight goal line situations. But when they do it, they've been incredibly efficient, and, I got respect for it, and we're going to try to stop it if it comes up.
So, Coach, one of the things that has been discussed this week is that the play isn't well officiated, that at times Philly is offsides in this play. Is that something you will talk to the officials about?
Yeah, I think when you freeze those cameras, it can optically – what you want to be able to do is it's no different than any play, So obviously I saw the stuff that was around, when you can freeze it. But, you always – there's times when you go into games that you always try to alert officials to certain things that may or may not be – ultimately it's to try to be able to make sure there's clarity and understanding of what we're looking for and how the game is being officiated and how we can put our players in the most successful outcomes. So I saw that stuff. I know how fun those conversations are, but ultimately they know that if that situation comes up, they're going to do it legally, and we're going to try to stop it.
All right, Sean, a couple things to wrap up. The kicking in the NFL has never been better. When I was growing up watching football, I think you were the same way. If a guy made a 60-yard field goal, that was like a once-in-a-month thing. Tom Dempsey's 63-yarder was the record for like 30 years. Now, most teams have a guy who can pretty consistently hit from 60. Does that change the way you coach? In other words, maybe you call timeouts at a different spot. You may, at the end of a half, instead of letting the clock run out, you may let Matthew turn it loose to get into field goal range. Is the improved kicking something that a guy on your level changes the way you coach?
Oh, I think in general guys do. The yards to gain for getting into field goal range. Look at Aubrey the other day. They're at midfield
Crazy.
And he's in field goal range. It's unprecedented, And so, yes, it does affect and alter the way you approach it. But if you just do dumb stuff like I did in the tight red area, all Cardi's got to do is hit it from about 20 yards, right?
That's right. That's right. By the way, why do you think kickers are so much better now?
Well, I just think the athletes are – they just continue to develop. They're faster, they're stronger, there's more range that they have. And so I just think when you just look at the overall athleticism and, just increases in all areas of this game and the speed at which it's played, you're looking at guys that can push the ball further down the field. And so it's no different with the range that these kickers have. I just think, with just the advances and the understanding of how to physically develop guys, they're just able to do things that are different than maybe what was potentially thought of unachievable before.
Practical question. Steve Avila and Braden Fisk, neither one of them practiced today. What is their status for Sunday?
Yeah, we're hopeful that they'll be able to go. We'll take it a day at a time. The good news is it's Wednesday. We've got a couple more days of critical prep ahead of us. Those guys are doing stuff on their own with Reggie Scott, even though they won't take part in actual practice with our team. They're doing individual things to be able to see if they're taking steps in the right direction. But we're certainly leaving the door open and looking forward to hopefully those guys being able to go.
All right, last thing, Sean. In the Steeler game this past week, their return guy didn't know the rule, and a live ball ended up in the end zone, and the Seahawks got a touchdown out of it. When something like that happens, does that send shockwaves through coaching offices around the league? Like, when you heard that or saw it, did you say to your special teams guy, hey, make sure everybody knows the rule, or do you guys already know the rule? Or when a play like that happens, are you surprised by it?
Well, I think, I know that probably be, when you're in the heat of battle, there's a lot of stressful situations and decisions that come up. So the answer is, of course, we cover those things. We talk through it, but we try to have meetings and have a good pulse of the landscape of the league, because whether it's what's being emphasized by the officiating department, what are some of the things that we can use as what we would call learning ops, whether that takes from ourselves or whether that's things that occur on a positive or a learnable opportunity around the league. We try to do that every single week, and so I think it's really important to be in tune with what's going on, and that's an unfortunate thing, but I can't speak to what they're doing, but I do know that Danny Smith and Mike Tomlin are phenomenal football coaches, and I certainly have been a part of some things that happen where, in the heat of battle, some stressful situations can lead to some, unfortunate decisions where, maybe you're not totally and completely present, whether that's play calling or whether that's some of the things that happen for the players. So, it's an unfortunate one to see, but yeah, we do try to educate our players on that stuff.
Okay, so you're going to Philly. They have that stupid song, that Fly, Eagles, Fly song. Do you hate it as much as we do?
The hell do you think the answer to that is? I just love it. I love hearing the Eagles. You know what? I have tremendous respect for the passion of that fan base, the loyalty that they have. I love going in there, and I mean, if I said some of the stuff that those fans say to me, it is nasty, and I love it.
That is great.
All right, Sean, go get them.
Yeah.
Go get the Eagles. We can't wait to watch and bring home a win.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, have a great night.
There is Sean McVay. Whenever